In today's Final Touch, for $9,000, you could buy an entire new wardrobe.
Or just one jacket. This coat creation from a fashion house is all over social media. It has 7 different colored layers. A compilation of plaid shirts, jersey hoodies and fleeces with cuff sleeves, front patch pockets, and a drawstring. The oversized layered parka is ski-themed, good for cold weather, but, you know, we're thinking you could buy 10 different coats for a lot less money than this $9,000 jacket and just achieve the same look.
That's got Wisconsin written all over it, though.
Thanks for watching. News 3 at 5 starts right now.
Right now at 5, dozens of residents in Sauk County are being evacuated as towns are preparing for more flooding.
Why to Camp Randall tomorrow for the Badgers home opener will have a problem getting to the stadium.
Is News 3 at 5.
Thanks for staying with News 3. While the rain has stopped for now, towns are still preparing for more evacuations and flood runoff from other areas.
Sauk County confirms 25 residents have been evacuated in anticipation of high floodwaters headed their way. Our Jamie Perez spent the day in Sauk County speaking to residents about what they're anticipating.
Well, this is what it looks like right now in Rock Springs. The gas station is inaccessible, and so is the other side of town. It seems like we really just can't escape the floods here. The water you see is estimated anywhere from 10 to 20 feet deep. It's only gotten worse this morning, according to county workers. With more rain in the forecast, they've had to move barricades back in anticipation of more flooded areas. People around here are preparing for the worst.
It's scary to think and see because you never know what a family is going to go through again this year, because in 2008 my family lost absolute everything.
Not only are the water levels high, but the currents are strong. The floods are so bad in some areas, the town is almost unrecognizable. I'll show you what it looks like in North Freedom just down the road coming up tonight at 6.
Sauk County Emergency Management has organized a disaster relief fund for flood victims in Sauk County. The Greater Sauk Community Foundation will be taking in monetary donations for victims. Officials say there will be no charge for the service, so 100% of the proceeds will go directly toward flood victims. You can donate by visiting greatersauk.org.
And the threat of flooding still isn't over in the city of Madison.
This as flooding and road closures are possible on the isthmus as the flow of water through the Tenney Dam is being increased. Our Dave Caulfield is here with more.
Yeah, we just cannot catch a break seemingly in Madison. City of Madison officials said in an effort to manage the water level on Lake Mendota, the flow of water has been increased. Officials are expecting water levels and lane closures similar to last week. East Washington Ave will have possible lane closures, but they expect to keep 2 lanes open in each direction. North First Street will have possible lane closures as well, and they expect to keep 1 lane open. And North Livingston Street will be closed between East Wash and East Dayton Street. Mayor Paul Soglin says this event is so draining on residents because the area hasn't had time to enter recovery mode.
As long as the lake levels are at this level, and as long as there's the potential for rain, we have to be alert. We have to keep the EOC open, and the staff has to be prepared for flooding.
And with that threat of more heavy rain this weekend and into next week, Soglin says residents on the isthmus need to remain vigilant for not just rain totals in Madison, but the entire watershed. That's really important. He also added officials will continue to decrease water levels on Lake Mendota whenever possible. And Madison really won't be in the clear here until we get an extended stretch of dry weather, which really doesn't look likely in the short term. For now, Soglin says this whole process is like trying to drain a giant bathtub with only a straw. So lots more to go in this event, unfortunately.
All right, Dave, thank you.
All 4 Madison area lakes are near historic highs after the heavy downpours we've seen in the last couple of weeks. The Sheriff's Department recommending people simply stay off the water for now for safety reasons. Slow, no wake rules are in effect for Mendota, Monona, Waubesa, and Kegonsa, and could stay that way for the rest of the boating season. The DNR says those rules help reduce the severity of even more flooding and protect property along the lakes. The DNR knows those orders can be frustrating for boaters hoping to enjoy the holiday weekend on the water, but they hope people understand why.
The water's very destructive, so anytime you have the wake that would be coming from the boats can essentially affect that as far as any of the shorelines around Madison. So
Rock County has also issued a slow no wake order for long stretches along the Rock River, and Columbia County has issued a slow no wake order on the Wisconsin River, as well as Swan Lake and the Fox River. There are still dozens of highways closed as well due to the flooding in the south and western parts of the state. In Columbia County, part of Highway 127 is closed. In Dane County, Highway 14 is closed between Cross Plains and Black Earth. In Sauk, parts of Highways 22, 23, 58, 136, and 154 are closed. For a complete list of all the highway closures, you can find it channel3000.com.
The National Weather Service says 8 tornadoes have been confirmed from storms that moved across Wisconsin Tuesday night. The NWS will send out teams Thursday to assess weather damage across the state, including Marquette and Green Lake counties, where there may have been tornadoes earlier this week. One of the 8 tornadoes was in Brownsville, which is near the Dodge and Fond du Lac County line. Today, Governor Walker is assessing some of the damage from those storms in Fond du Lac County. He's reminding people around the state to report their damage.
Number one issue is safety. Number 2 is cleanup. Third, as a part of that, is assessing the damage and collecting the information. We've done this before. We're a ways off from being able to fully seek a federal declaration. But obviously, as the damage levels increase, it's a high bar, but that's something certainly we're going to be looking at.
Governor Walker says that he will be touring the flooding damages in Sauk County tomorrow.
All right, so as we've got a little bit of a chance to dry out, well, let's stick around. Let's go to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canal to the latest on our forecast. Gary?
Eric, that's the problem. We have these little short periods of dry weather, a day or two, and then the next batch of showers and thunderstorms rolls on in. And because of that, we already have an alert day in the forecast for Friday night into Saturday. This is for a round of showers and thunderstorms that will arrive mainly after midnight Friday night into early Saturday morning. There'll be some showers and thunderstorms outside of that time period, although they'll be much more widely scattered. But during that period, some of those storms could have heavy rain and some strong gusty winds, and that will only make this flooding problems worse in areas that have been hardest hit, and that's areas north and northeast of Dane County, where the National Weather Service has already issued a flash flood watch from 10 p.m. Friday night until 7 p.m. Saturday evening. Now, visible cloud track shows a nice day today. Just a few clouds popping up, but plenty of sunshine. Doppler track pretty much free of precipitation other than a few sprinkles in the southwestern portion of Iowa. But the severe weather outlook for tomorrow has a slight risk of severe thunderstorms into the La Crosse area and a marginal risk to the Madison area, and a marginal risk continues into Saturday morning for any storms overnight that could bring gusty winds. Precipitation potential from the latest computer models, about 1 to 2 inches through noon on Saturday with locally heavier amounts. Low temperatures this morning, a little cooler thanks to the drier air, upper 40s to the lower 50s. High temperatures so far generally in the lower to middle 70s. Right now we're near those high temperatures of the day, 73 right now in Madison. Dew point temperatures still pretty comfortable, mid 50s to the lower 60s. By tomorrow morning we'll be down into the upper 50s. Look for variably cloudy skies tomorrow, maybe a chance of a shower or thunderstorm north of Madison in the afternoon. High temperature at 76. That's your first alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. You can expect heavy traffic on any Badger game day, but with road closures due to flooding and construction, there will be even more challenges.
Keely Arthur tells us how getting to tomorrow's game might be more congested than usual.
On any Badger game day, you can expect to see a lot of W's in red, but over here on Monroe Street, you'll see just as much orange and road closed signs.
Tomorrow, 80,000 Badger fans will make their way to Camp Randall. In the past, many would use Monroe Street to get to and from the game, but because of construction, the street is reduced to just one lane, one way, with eastbound traffic only permitted.
I take Monroe Street every day to come into work, and that has added to my commute, and that's just my regular commute. Add in 80,000 Badger fans, I will not be taking Monroe Street tomorrow.
University Police is urging drivers to take the Park Street exit in lieu of Monroe, or even go an exit further and take John Nolan Drive. University Avenue is also an option. If you're coming from the east, remember to account for road closures on the Isthmus due to floods. Check cityofmadison.com/flooding for the best routes.
And this construction is going to last almost as long as the Badgers football season, with things set to wrap up in November. In Madison, Keely Arthur, WISC News 3.
Officials say to give yourself an extra 45 minutes of drive time.
A new addition to Second Harvest Food Bank is helping them feed the community in the event of a power outage. Cummins Emissions helped fund a majority of the cost for a new backup generator at Second Harvest Food Bank's warehouse. The generator is designed to prevent the loss of food and maintain food safety during a power failure.
We're being called on by the state of Wisconsin to be a backup when there's disasters for food, so we wanted to make sure that when that happens, that the food we had was protected as much as possible. And it's ironic what's happened in the last week or so with the floods here, so it's really called to attention how important we are to helping the community when they have needs.
Dan Stein says the backup generator will help salvage up to 500,000 pounds of food.
A housing shortage continues to grow in Rock County.
As officials try to find more ways to create more housing, buyers are finding a different way to get the homes they want. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter joins us from a bureau at the Janesville Gazette with what's causing this shortage. Adam?
Well, if you're trying to find a home in Rock County, you are not alone. In fact, according to a recent report by Realtor.com, Janesville Beloit is the 12th hottest housing market in the entire United States. And today I took a closer look at why that is.
In Janesville, it's not uncommon to see a new home going up down the street. In fact, the only way for a lot of people here to find a home is to build one themselves.
We've not seen this shortage of inventory since I've been lending.
Mortgage manager Lauren Fellows says it's the competition to find a suitable home that's driving this construction boom.
There's a lot of people competing for the same home. And so what we're finding is that people are considering building their first home more so than we had ever seen in the past.
But it's not just a lack of homes. This downtown space near Parker and Wall Street is a candidate for a new apartment complex, something city officials say is necessary to draw in young professionals.
We want to be as urban and as any other Midwestern community. We want to be able to retain talent, attract talent, so that our companies can continue to grow.
But what's causing this construction boom? For some, it's the lot prices.
We have quite a lot in the $30,000 to $40,000 range, and those kind of lots are what you would see in Madison for $60,000 to $100,000.
For others, it's what the city offers.
You can choose to live in Janesville or Rock County, and you can decide to commute to a job to Madison, or stay in a job in Janesville, or commute to a job in Rockford. There's some real opportunities.
But no matter the cause, one thing is for certain. As people come to Janesville, they need a place to live.
There's a lot of great momentum happening downtown. We've got employers coming here, we've got employees coming here, and we need to have homes to put them in.
One other thing I did learn today is that in addition to the necessity for homes, there's actually a really big shortage of people who are qualified to build those homes. They're looking for carpenters and other workers, but everyone I talked to today is saying that this is a problem that they like to have because it means people are coming to Janesville and moving here full time.
All right, Adam Duxter in our Janesville Gazette Bureau in Rock County. Adam, thank you.
There's more to come on News 3 at 5. Up next, a moving memorial service in Arizona for the late John McCain. What Joe Biden has to say about the Maverick.
And the first loss in a week for the stock market as the Dow falls almost 138 points. The NASDAQ and the S&P 500 snap a streak of 4 consecutive record highs. We're back in a moment. Arizona has said its final goodbyes to Senator John McCain.
He was remembered at a memorial service at his church in Phoenix today. McCain died on Saturday after a year-long battle with brain cancer. Former Vice President Joe Biden delivered the eulogy. He said his friendship with McCain endured despite their political differences.
The disease that took John's life took our mutual friend's Teddy's life, the exact same disease 9 years ago, a couple days ago. And 3 years ago, it took my beautiful son Bo's life. It's brutal. It's relentless. It's unforgiving. And it takes so much from those we love and from the families who love them that in order to survive, we have to remember how they lived, not how they died.
The farewell to Senator McCain will now move to Washington. This evening, his body is being flown to Joint Base Andrews. Tomorrow, McCain will lie in state at the U.S. Capitol. A memorial service with McCain's congressional colleagues will be held tomorrow morning. Then the rotunda will be opened to the public.
The Republican nominee in Florida's governor's race is facing growing criticism for making racially charged remarks about his opponent. Congressman Ron DeSantis said Floridians would, quote, monkey up their state's progress if they elected Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum. Gillum, the first black gubernatorial nominee in Florida history.
I've been in politics a long time. I've seen these kinds of ploys and tactics before. I do think it is beneath the intelligence of Floridians.
It has zero to do with race, Sean. It has everything to do with whether we want Florida to continue to go in a good direction, building off the success, or do we want to turn to left-wing socialist policies.
Florida voters will head to the polls to vote for a governor in 68 days.
Vice President Mike Pence is raising money in Wisconsin for Republican Senate candidate Leah Vukmir. Pence is in Milwaukee right now for the closed-door fundraiser. Vukmir faces Democrat Tammy Baldwin in the November election. Pence said earlier this week in an interview on WTMJ radio that he and President Donald Trump are committed to help elect Vukmir. Trump endorsed Vukmir after her primary victory over Kevin Nicholson 2 weeks ago. A spokesman for Tammy Baldwin says Pence is coming to support Vukmir because she supports the Trump administration's push to eliminate the national health care law, while Baldwin supports keeping it.
Well, another very pleasant day for the second day in a row. Cooler temperatures, comfortable temperatures out there, and Gary's on the backyard patio with more. Gary?
We need about 2 more weeks of this kind of weather, and unfortunately, we're probably not going to see another full day of it. We'll probably see some more shower and thunderstorms pop up tomorrow afternoon, but the better chance for rain will be later tomorrow night. Let's start out by taking a look at an alert day, or actually 2 alert days we have in the forecast, mainly for tomorrow night into Saturday. The best chances for showers and thunderstorms will be later Friday night into early Saturday morning. Now, during the day on Saturday, I'm not expecting that much more of additional rainfall. The problem is whatever falls Friday night into Saturday morning could lead to flooding problems that'll linger through the day on Saturday because of the fact that we've had so much rain in parts of our viewing area. Any additional rainfall is going to lead to flooding. And so already the National Weather Service has put out a flash flood watch from 10 p.m. tomorrow night until 7 p.m. Saturday evening for areas north and northeast of Dane County, including much of east central Wisconsin areas north of Milwaukee as well. As we look at the 48-hour precipitation estimate, that area in red, actually ignore those numbers in there, they didn't update, but that area in red from La Crosse to the Wisconsin Dells, anywhere from 5 to 12 inches of rain fell during the heavy rains of the last couple of days. Good news is right now Doppler track shows very little in the way of precipitation, a couple of sprinkles in southwestern Iowa, and that's it. But already the severe weather outlook for tomorrow calls for a slight risk of severe thunderstorms from La Crosse westward into Minnesota and Iowa, and a marginal risk from Madison eastward. Now, storms will probably fire up in Minnesota and Iowa. That's where the highest threat for severe weather will be. They'll form a line heading eastward into southern Wisconsin, reaching us after midnight. From a severe weather standpoint, that lessens the severe weather threat a little bit here. That's why we have the marginal risk for maybe some thunderstorms with gusty winds. But again, the heavy rainfall threat might be the bigger issue. And then Saturday, that marginal risk of severe thunderstorms continues over far southern Wisconsin, mainly for the storms early in the morning. More storms in the afternoon will develop farther to the west into Iowa. Precipitation potential from the latest RPM computer model run, and it's showing generally 1 to 2 inches of rain. And this is through about noon on Saturday over southern Wisconsin, but there could be some localized 3 or 4 or 5 inch amounts in heavier thunderstorms. Just have to wait until they actually start firing up, and then we have a better idea where they are. Queensborough Radio Skycam in Platteville shows clear skies. The WISC Skycam showing a few cirrus clouds, and the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison showing the sun shining over a very high Lake Mendota. As we look at the almanac for today, high temperature very pleasant, 73, the low 53, so a little below normal on average on the temperatures. We're still at our high for the day of 73. Winds are out of the south at 13 miles per hour. Dew point temperature in the middle 50s, not terribly high, but again, those numbers will come up. Current temperatures are in the 70s across the state, but the dew points are in the 50s to low 60s here. Already over western Iowa, we're seeing some pockets where dew point temperatures are at or above 70. So again, flash flood watch north and northeast of Madison and Dane County from late tomorrow night into Saturday evening. 58 for the overnight low temperature, partly cloudy skies tomorrow. Breezy with a chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon, mainly north of Madison with a high of 76. On future track, things pretty quiet overnight, partly cloudy skies, lows in the upper 50s. Tomorrow, variable cloudiness, a shower or thunderstorm popping up, probably the better chances a little north of Madison. But here's that line of showers and storms I talked about later tomorrow night into early Saturday morning, and then those will clear out. Still a chance of a shower or thunderstorm on Saturday, but the heavier rains probably more likely early in the day. And then as we look at the 7 to 10 day, or the precipitation estimates, again, 1 to 2 inches with heavier amounts in excess of 3 inches in the heavier thunderstorms. 7 to 10 day forecast calls for thunderstorm chances on Sunday, Labor Day Monday, and a slight chance Tuesday and Wednesday. Another chance Thursday as a cold front comes through, and then those showers and storms that early on Friday. We see some dry weather as we head into the following weekend. Humidity levels drop a little bit, but the high humidity levels for much of next week will just keep us in the chances for showers and thunderstorms. First alert traffic right now, some delays on the Beltline. This is the live view from the DOT camera at Park Street in the Beltline. We're seeing some delays eastbound beginning around Monona Drive going back to west of Verona Road. Westbound delays start around Todd Drive and head back to just east of John Nolan Drive. And again, many roads and parts of our viewing area closed because of high water or flooding. Right now, a little more than a half hour on the Beltline eastbound from going from University Avenue to the interstate, westbound about 20 minutes, and heading out of Madison, almost a half hour down to Janesville on I-3990 from the Beltline, 21 minutes out to Sauk City on US 12, and 20 minutes to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue, US 151. That's your first alert traffic.
Gary, thank you.
You're welcome.
Still ahead on News 3 at 5. It is Labor Day weekend, and major department stores and online retailers are offering big end-of-season deals and discounts. We'll tell you some of the biggest ones when we come back. Labor Day is the last summer holiday. It may also be a great time to shop.
In today's Consumer Watch, Meredith Wood has a closer look at the steals you can score this 3-day weekend.
Summer may be coming to an end, but get ready for some scorching hot deals on the first Monday of September. Mattresses and appliances are Labor Day sale staples, as well as anything summer-related like clothing, patio furniture, and grills. So here's some of the places where you can score some really great deals. At Best Buy, you can save up to 40% on appliances through September 12th. Home Depot, Lowe's, Sears, and JCPenney, they're also offering the same deal for appliances. Online retailers Wayfair and Overstock are offering up to 70% off furniture and other items. Experts say now is the best time to buy next summer's swimming gear. Old Navy, J. Crew, Banana Republic, and many other clothing stores will be offering deep discounts on summer clothes and shoes. When it comes to electronics, though, experts suggest you wait for deeper discounts on Black Friday. However, Dell is offering 40% off laptops, desktops, and TVs. And you can get Amazon's Echo device for up to $100 off through Labor Day. For Consumer Watch, I'm Meredith Wood.
Stay with us. We'll have another check of your forecast in just a moment. Finally, at 5, an Army veteran in Hawaii celebrated his 100th birthday in epic fashion.
Paulito Paul Olivas is 100 years old and as gutsy as ever. He celebrated the big day by going skydiving. He signed up for a tandem 14,000-foot free fall. Paul fought in World War II, the Korean War, and served in Vietnam. He has more than 300 jumps under his belt, but this was the first time jumping for fun in his first free fall.
Happy birthday, Paul. And thank you for your service.
Yes.
Celebrate any way you want when you get to 100 years young. Gary Canalti back. Final check of the forecast.
Well, the weather was nice there for sky jumping around here. We're having the possibility of more showers and thunderstorms tomorrow night.
We'll be back in 30 minutes for News 3 at 6.